Hey everybody, it's Nerdicane here again, doing 2 videos in one day. That's kind of rare. I guess an angel has gotten its wings today. Doing Star Wars Storms of Crate, and this is a standalone story, but they put a number on it, which I guess is okay. I'm not sure why they did that, but it's sort of a standalone story, and it's a tie-in with the movie that apparently everybody hates. That I don't hate it. I didn't think it was that bad. But a lot of people are saying it's like the death of Star Wars, and I think it's a little hyperbolous. And I may do a video on people's reactions to that as well. But getting to this, here's credit where credit's due. This guy's gone. I really would like to just take a marker and really erase that. Thick Boy in Charge. Can't wait to see him actually kind of get his roots and his hands on the Marvel Universe. For one main reason, the dude loves the X-Men. And he's just a normal dude. He's not an ideologue. I'm really looking forward to the C.D. Cebulski era. So hopefully he doesn't let us down. Look at this. This scene must have been just a dream for the artist to lay out and do. It's great. Look at that. It's just the detail and the perspective. It's just a really great comic book scene. But there's some wonky things in this comic book. Leia, for one. Well, the faces in general. They wanted to get the faces right. They wanted to get the faces perfect. So what they did was, I guess, I'm not an artist. I'm not a comic book artist. This is like a comic book version of rotoscoping, if you know what rotoscoping is in movies. It's where you take live action and then you kind of animate over the live action. This is going the other way. This is, you're taking a comic book from pictures, and I don't know if you're taking a direct picture and photoshopping it. I don't know how they do this, but it's a little wonky. It's a little weird. The story's really good. This is a buy. Go get it. But here's how much of a Star Wars fan is. Whenever they do a head like this from the movie scene, I'm gonna tell you what scene it is that I recognize. This is Battle of Yavin, when they thought they were about to get blown up. This is Han Solo telling Luke, yeah, but who's gonna fly it? In the cantina on Tatooine. Once again, this is Battle of Yavin. This is her talking with Darth Vader. This is her talking with Governor Tarkin. And this is taken from Return of the Jedi. Okay, so they're looking for a base. Getting back to the story, they're looking for a base, and once again, beautiful. The ships, great layout, great artwork, great scale, great design. Good job on that. They're looking for a base, and crate has come up as an option. And this gets into why they couldn't use crate and why it was abandoned that you see in Last Jedi. Then we cut to Matt Damon playing Mark Hamill, playing Luke Skywalker, and it looks very much like Matt Damon here. It gets worse later on. So they get to crate, and this dude with the Scottish blue guy is like an old friend of her father, and I'm not sure what he's doing there. I can't remember what he was doing there, but once again, there's the speeders, the ships from Last Jedi. It's kind of a neat tie-in. I mean, this is when they were brand new and they were working properly. If you watched Last Jedi, you saw that those things were pieces of crap and they were falling apart. So they get there, and Leia's talking with him about the base, and basically sends Luke and Han and Chewie and Wedge on sort of a wild goose chase, doing surveys or something like that to get him out of there. Luke's face, have you ever noticed? I don't know if you guys know this about Star Wars, about the actor Mark Hamill. You know, they did Star Wars. It was a huge hit, and then after shooting, before starting on Empire Strikes Back, Mark Hamill had a car crash, and his face was pretty messed up. He had to have some reconstructive surgery on his face, from what I remember. So that's why he looks very different from New Hope to Empire Strikes Back. So they couldn't take. I guess they didn't. I guess they didn't take. This one doesn't. This is drawn. This really isn't. This isn't taken from a photo from film of Mark Hamill playing Luke Skywalker. So this scene, this facial expression, and this conversation was taken from Cloud City. This was a scene from when he was yelling at Chewie over something, I can't remember. But they're down in the mines, talking about the mines. This is basically just a little bit of character setup. Shows these worms. These worms play a little part later. This is Wedge not looking anything like Wedge. It's almost like there's two Wedges in this comic book as well, and you'll see that later. This is the most Matt Damon Luke Skywalker in the book right there. So they get there, and this is the survey that was the Wild Goose Chase, and Luke kind of realizes it. But they find these mummified guys, these Mollified Miners. Apparently there's storms on this, like sandstorms, that are so bad that the sand will just dehydrate anybody who's caught out in them for too long. That was from Return of the Jedi. Yeah, so her hairstyle, that gives it away. That was from Return of the Jedi, from scenes in Return of the Jedi. So this blue dude double crosses them, tells the Empire where they are. There's not a whole lot of explanation why this Stormtrooper has a lightsaber either. Yeah, but they have speeders that go in after him. They have lightsabers. This was from New Hope. That was a face from New Hope. And you know what? I'm not going to spoil that either. I'm going to skip that. There's a fight. There's a lightsaber fight between that Stormtrooper and Luke. I mean, you knew it was coming. He has a lightsaber. The Stormtrooper has a lightsaber. You know they're just going to fight. I don't want to get a strike. So I'm going to skip some of the battle. The battle's really neat. There's some really neat stuff with Luke in the fight, in the battle. And they win, obviously. They don't die, because otherwise the other movies wouldn't happen. This is, once again, this is the other Wedge. Looks completely different from before. Very brutal. He's just smashing that Stormtrooper's head in with some slab of metal that he found, and he's just enraged. They kind of confront the double crosser. This is right out of Return of the Jedi, that scene where she gets shot, although it's not so bad. You know, Star Wars fans. Star Wars fans, you'll know what this is from, and that's from the end of Empire. So, and this is from a behind-the-scenes shot. This wasn't in the movie. This was just them clowning around. Someone took a photo back during production. So yeah, I mean, it's a good comic. I'm not going to spoil it for you completely. It's a good read. It's a fun read. It's an interesting read because it kind of ties in with the new movie. If you hate it or if you love it, or if you're indifferent to the new movie, it's definitely worth checking out. But yeah, standalone story. Pick it up off the shelf and you got the whole story right there in your hand. No need to pick up other issues. But yeah, that's my review of it. It's good. Go get it. Once again, I'm Nerdicane. Hit me up in the comments. Hit like, hit subscribe, and you can always, I'm always up for talking Star Wars, either here or over on the Twitter, at Nerdicane as well. I'm also Nerdicane on Xbox Live. So if you ever see me playing a game that you play, hit me up. All right. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.